Welcome everyone to tablewinfo.com. Who am I? Subscribe now to my channel if you have not subscribed yet. Don't miss to hit the bell icon if you want to get regular updates. So as you know that I have started the Tableau Specialist series, and this is the session 2 of the same. Today we are going to learn how to create basic charts. And don't forget to download the worksheet, and I'll make ensure that I paste that link to my video description, YouTube video description. So we are going to talk about different basic charts that you see over there. So there are a lot of charts there. At the same time, we'll also try to talk about these charts and the charts that we see in our day-to-day life. So first of all, let's get started. Let's get started with the line graph. Line graph means value of something over time. If I want to simplify that, if I don't want to overcomplicate it. Powerful visual tool for marketing, finance, and other areas. This is best for analyzing trend and forecast. You would have heard trend lines. You would not have heard trend bar. And on the right hand side, this is something that you would have seen. So one of the most common line graph is the Sensex line chart, Nifty. It is whether it is going up or down. So line graphs are used when you are talking about trend and forecast for sure. In fact, you cannot create trend and forecast when you'll use Tableau, with the bar chart that I'll show you anyhow. Let's switch over to the bar graph. I'll show you how to create from scratch, and we'll do at worksheet level as well. But the bar chart was created in the 1700 by William Playfair, along with Tableau. It's history as well for you, illustrating patterns or for comparing discrete groups. Where horizontal layout, you use horizontal layout when comparing duration, vertical layout for comparison of height, or to show growth, or if some of the values are negative. So let's get started with the worksheet and at least be somewhere with the line and bar. So this is a line, and there are a lot of lines over there, so maybe I can simplify this for you by creating a duplicate and then starting from scratch, removing the trend line as well. So this is a simple line chart. You don't have to do much. You have to just drag here and sum of profit. The show me option can also help you to create this line chart. So this is a sort of shortcut, and the best part of show me is that whenever you hover around any sort of chart, it will give you a hint. For lines discrete, try one date, 0 or more dimension, 1 or more measures. So this is quite handy. I don't think this is present in other BI tools, but anyhow we are at line chart. So we have created this line chart. So we have started with line chart, but what all we can do. So if I drag the region to colors, so now it is giving me a cool line graph over there that is showing me that has been broken into region, central, east, south, west. So now I have broken my lines into multiple lines. That is helping me to understand the trend within different regions. Cool enough. Now if I want to see the trend lines, I can see the trend line as well. Maybe you would like to see trend line for a single line first. Trend lines, there is no trend bar, there is only trend line. So you can see the trend line where you see profit. This is y is equal to mx plus c sort of equation over there if you see profit. So this is trying to derive a relationship between here and profit over there. We'll talk a little more about the same when I reach scatter plot, but for now we can just drag the region to color so that we can see the different trend lines for different regions over there. This is how you make it. Okay, now switching over to the dual axis. Again, let me simplify for you. Okay, this is a normal thing where you have year and sum of sales. Now I want to illustrate the relationship between two different variables. So one is sales already over there, what we have used. Okay, sum of sales. So let us try to do sum of sales and say running total and sum of sales. Like this. In order to create a dual chart or dual axis, just you have to go over there, click on dual axis, or you can just drag and drop. Both ways you can do. So now we have got the dual axis where you can let me synchronize the axis as well. Now it's a cool chart having the same origin and helping me to understand the relationship between two different variables over there, sales and sum of sales, running total of the sales along table. Fair enough. So here you see, okay, it's not a combined chart, but then let me switch over to the combined chart now, like this. So maybe I can make use of the same dual axis and try to make it a combined chart, or should I create a new one? So maybe I create a new one. So this is okay. Sum of sales. So we have sum of sales across different years. Now I want to analyze the number of order IDs. That means I have to drag like this, and maybe I would say, or maybe directly I can do like this here as well. And I say count or distinct order IDs. Dual axis. Summary. But in the combined chart, we are combining two different forms. So I would like to have a line plus bar combo. So let me turn this to line. Here we go. The one thing that you should notice over here is if this very particular somehow if it is coming in this form, then you can always right click and move marks to front. So this you should know. Now coming to bar and stacked graph. Now it will help. It is just a bar graph that we have already covered. No, we have not covered up. Let me start from the scratch. And so this is simple. Okay, there are a lot of things combined over there. Lot of things. No worries, I can clear this calculation. This is a simple bar graph. So the difference between a line graph or a bar graph, first and foremost would be, as I've already mentioned about the line graph, that whenever you are interested in trend forecasting, line chart is the best chart for you. Because in bar graph, you are here comparing, generally you are comparing discrete groups of data. Sometimes you interchange a line with bar and vice versa, but generally you compare discrete groups of data with the bar graph. And when I say stacked bar has got the ability to break down and compare parts of a whole. For example, when I say 2015, 2016, I'm talking about the sum of profit. But if I am interested to see the breakdown of the region, then I'll have to just drag this to color. Mind you that I need to select all the region over there. So now it's a nice graph that is helping me to understand, okay, for the year 2015, region East is pretty consistent with the profit, right? We can also analyze something different. For example, if I say ship mode, so within that region, I can see the ship mode. For example, for the region central for the year 2017, I can see a lot of goods are coming under the standard class, and least profit is coming under the first class, as you can see over there, and most profit is under the standard class. Anything else? Now coming to 100% stacked bar graph, where it's a neat diagram which is starting from 0 to 100, and within that 100% it will show you the breakdown for the year 2015, and we are talking about sum of profit. So maximum percentage of profit is coming under the standard class. So this is a nice way to represent the sum of total when you are dealing with the sum of total scenario, some percentage of total scenario. But how to do that? It is very simple. It looks tough, but it's not. It's not even looking tough actually. So what you will do, I'll do it from the scratch. Okay, remove everything. And I say profit. Okay, what I want percentage of total. Nice, but compute using cell, so that it will compute within this cell, this cell, this cell, so that you get from 0% to 100%. I can just copy this, or I can just, if you want to get the same at label as well, you don't need, there are two ways actually. I can just copy as well, so why don't I make use of the same? But then you'll have to do Here also you'll have to do the same thing, otherwise it will always do the table across. There you go. Both are same only. But then better you use the earlier version instead of calculation. Anything left? Combine chart, scatter plot, highlight tables. A line graph uses a line on an xy axis to plot a continuous function. So see the difference between a line graph. While a scatter plot uses dots to represent individual pieces of data, and it tries to correlate two variables, how two variables are related to each other. For example, how sale are related, how sale is related to the profit. Okay. This is also very simple. Let me come out of everything. Okay. Simple, right? Drag sum of profit, drag profit and sales to rows and columns. And you will see a single bubble over there or a circle. Now I want to analyze with respect to region. So now you have broken that very particular circle into multiple circles because now the level of detail is at region level. Also I can so I've included shape mode as well over there. I've changed the granularity. Now you can see the relationship. Again, y is equal to mx plus c. Profit is equal to 0.080 into sales, and this is the relationship. Yeah, and you can see the r square and p value as well. So this is the way you plot the scatter plot. And if I go back to my, we already talked about the stacked bar graph, which has got the ability to break down and compare parts of a whole. And at the end, last but not the least, we talked about scatter plot, which are used when you want to show the relationship between two variables. Correlation plots, sometimes you call it as correlation plots because they show how two variables are correlated. Here is an example as well. Each dot represents one child with this. So here you are trying to correlate the height and weight of children so that you can derive a relationship, how height and weight are related in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. I guess we are done or not. There is one more table left which is called highlight tables. Again, this is also simple, nothing to worry about. I'm not even feeling like to create this from the scratch because there is nothing over there. Segment, region, and then I have direct subcategory. Sum of profit, maybe let us do step by step. First of all, you do sum of profit. So you would have seen my heat map example. So I'm not going to explain heat map already. I have posted a video on the same. So you can see I have, so here this is communicating with the help of what? With the help of color. You can see, and this is the color code over there, which is what? Red, green, diverging. So the dark green shows more profit, and the red, generally the code for the heat map is like, you know, blue to red. So I'm not talking about the heat map over here. This is a highlight table. So I'm just giving you some gyan. So I'm talking about this thing, highlight tables. There is no hard and fast rule. You can create your own color coding over here, but then you can see the more is on the green side, dark green side, the bigger the profit is. And now if I want to do certain analysis where I want to track some of sales to the size, so now the size is with respect to the sales, so there will be certain instances where you see, okay, profit is there, profit is not there, but sales is there. But then, for example, here in this case, if I would not have done this, I would be thinking that, okay, this is giving me good sales, but then the reality is that profit is in negative. Sales is of $27,000, that's okay, but then now this is giving me, color coding is with respect to profit and size is with respect to the sales. So for example, this one, this is a good segment. Or if I go there, okay, sales is great, but profit is not that much. So that is because of color. So size is because of sales and color is because of profit. So this is the way you can analyze. So I think I'm done, and this is my second session for the Tableau Specialist training. I hope you liked it. Do subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet, and don't miss to hit the bell icon. Bye bye to everyone. I'll meet you again with my third session. Thanks for watching this video. This is Ritesh signing off from